Yo, welcome back to the Gym with Kid. You already know how we start. Start off by thanking God for all He has done and what He will continue to do for me, but not only me, my family, my friends, and those who I don't even know. It's been a minute. How y'all doing? Not post last week, either Friday or Saturday. I'm still working on being consistent. Before I get into the episode, just hold myself accountable. Sometimes we just deal with life. Things happen. Just as long as you get back up and you remember why you started and you get back to doing what you're doing, that's what matters. Before I get into the episode, a lot of times we focus so much on consistency, so much on doing what we said we were going to do, that when we don't do it, we get discouraged sometimes. And that's real. We all have been there. I'm currently there. Just get back up and try it again. It's never too late. But for y'all in last week, both days, my church had a Wealth is Health conference. It was pretty good. They had it on Friday and Saturday. It was pretty good. I got to listen to it online and catch up on some things, so it was pretty good. But without further ado, the title, no, can't get into the title yet. We have to read a scripture. Y'all get me together. So in Proverbs verse 20, verse 19, it says, he who goes about as a slander reveals secrets. Therefore do not associate with a gossip. Remember, someone who gossips to you will gossip about you, and gossip separates friendship. And that's Proverbs chapter 16, verse 28. I'm going to read that again. Remember, someone who gossips to you will gossip about you, and gossip separates friendship. And I'm going to read the other one, and it says Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19. It says, he who goes about as a slander reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with a gossip. So that's the biblical view on gossip. Let that sink in. So the title of this episode is going to be about gossip. Now, don't get me wrong. We all talk. And we all talk about a lot of things. But gossip can be good, but then sometimes it can be bad. And a lot of times we are focused so much on it that we forget that there's so many other things to talk about in the world. I'm going to use myself, because I always use myself. I've been in the midst of stuff in my life. Gossip, whether it's been good or bad. And I just be like, how did I get in this situation? How did I get in this situation? And I was like, you know what? I shouldn't even said nothing. I'm going to give you an example. This is how negatively how gossip can sometimes affect situations or people or friendships or things in that nature. You just got to know who you're talking to and be mindful who you're talking to. I'm going to give an example. You might be talking to somebody and they might confide in you. You know, it's amongst two people. And y'all having a conversation. Now, whatever that conversation is about, I believe, you know, what my grandmother's always tell me, what goes on in this house stays in this house, and what we're talking about stays here. Because if I wanted somebody else to know, I would tell them. I don't need nobody else to tell them, you know. So I really stand on that because I was raised up on it and I agree with it. You know, and then like I said, you gotta be mindful who you're talking to. But I'm gonna give you an example. If you were talking to somebody and there was two people and they were talking about, I'm just giving an example, like a coworker, and they were saying, hey, you know what, man, this person is lazy, he don't want to do no work, yada yada yada. And that might be a true statement. And that person is lazy. And they might ask you, like, man, ain't that right, Keelan? And you might be like, yeah, that's true. Now, that conversation was technically gossip, but it was amongst three people. Just three people. It was just chopping it up, having a conversation about another coworker, factual stuff. Now, we're not talking about a person in a negative, something that's not true, but I briefly said something, the two other visuals said something about somebody else's work ethic. And it is true. I'm just giving this. So, you think nothing of it. But somebody out of the three people leaves the conversation and goes tell somebody else. Or they might go tell the person that we said that. But a lot of times they don't even involve themselves. They just implicate the two other people, if that makes sense. Now that it's causing drama. Now that's negatively gossip. Stuff like that. So now the person looking at you sideways like, oh, they over there talking about me, saying this stuff. And you might say just one thing. Just one little thing. That's it. But they can't be mad because it's the truth, but they don't perceive it as that. They just perceive it as this person is talking about me in a negative way and I don't like it. But I'm a firm believer is if you don't like it, then fix it. But that's how negatively stuff can get by gossip, you know. That's why, like I said before, you gotta be mindful of the company you keep. You gotta be mindful who you're talking to. A lot of people you can't talk to because you don't know who else they're gonna say it to. You know, you don't know. You think they just keep it between y'all, but you just never know. So be mindful of that. That's a negative way of gossip or drama or the situation or messiness, how stuff can happen. Now, in a positive way, you know, if we can gossip, and we can gossip about good things. We might be gossiping about God. We might gossip about the things that's going on in the world and things that's happening good for us, you know. Like, that's good. That's good gossip. That's good stuff because Sorry about that. That's good because it's relevant to what's going on. It's relevant to what's going on with us. You know, our everyday life, what we're going through. You know, hey, my sons had a good day at school. God bless me with this. Like, it needs to be more conversations about that. That's the gossip that we should hear. But we're so easily influenced about negative gossip and stuff. Whereas, like I said, we should be gossiping about good things. Like we said, man, you know, God's been good to me. You know, this happened to me today. This is how God working with me today. My coworker was on the phone, and I overheard this, and one of the people at my job, they are closer to getting close to getting the house. Now that's what we should be talking about, you know. And I just overheard it, and I just replied to her. I know it wasn't none of my business, but I just was just like, hey, that's good, you know. I know he had briefly told me he was in emotion and him looking at one point. This is when I first started my job. He said it was an emotion. He was looking, and and hopefully he was going to get something. And now he has reached steps closer to getting him a house, and that's good. That's the stuff that we should be talking about, and what our minds should be consumed of, stuff like that. Because I always love to see that, because there's somebody doing better for themselves in their life, and that's always a good thing. Always. We gotta take steps. There's levels to this. So when I see that, I just can't just be happy from what I'm hearing. You know, my wife's best friend, she just started her YouTube channel, and she's got some videos up, and she's stepping out on faith, and she's doing great things. I had an opportunity to listen to her video on YouTube. Very inspirational, very positive, upkeep. It was just good to hear stuff like that. I want to talk about, because it's good and vital information, because somebody sharing their story with you or with the world can help you. Talk about that gossip. Let's talk about that, because that is something that's going to empower us, something to help us be stronger, something to help us push forward on them days that we don't feel like doing stuff. That's what's going to empower us. Not the negative stuff. But it's so easy. It's so easy to focus on negative stuff. So easy. It's easy. It's easy a lot of times to focus on negative stuff than it is positive stuff. It is. It's so easy, because that is what we are used to, and a lot of times all you know is all you're gonna do. I mean, you can't fault nobody for that. You really can't. And as long as we're making steps to correct it, that's all we can do. You know, I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. I remember I was working with this person, and for some reason, they always talked badly about the other person. And they talked about how they didn't like him, and et cetera, et cetera. It was just bad stuff, you know. And I remember just listening like, wow. You know, I never really said much. I just thought it was crazy. And they would just sit up there and they would just talk about this person. And, you know, I was like, wow, you know. And they had a really strongly dislike for this person. And I was like, wow. I hope that God can change the perspective. Only God can do that. We can't. We can't. So no matter what nobody say about somebody, whether it's negatively, hopefully it's positively, you can't change it. All you can do is, pray to God and pray that He can heal their heart or heal their perception of that person, and you live where it's at. Is it hurtful to hear a lot of times? Yes, because for me what's hurtful is you have people that have a really strong dislike for somebody, like really strong, and I can't always grasp of that. I can understand not caring for somebody because of their behavior and what they represent. Yeah, but a strong dislike is like you hate them or you want something bad upon to wish from, or like something bad to wish. I mean, if you want something bad to happen to them, to me that's next level. And no matter how they feel or how they talk about it, that's their problem. All you can do is pray for them. If you don't get anything out of this episode today, what I'm really trying to convey is stay off the negative gossip. Be mindful who you're talking to. And focus on positive gossip. Positive stuff. Me and my coworker, one of my coworkers, like every time we come together, man, we just talk about our families. We have so much in common. A lot of my coworkers, we have a lot in common, and we talk about a lot of different things. I got a coworker. She has a husband, married for 10 plus years. Blessing. Sometimes we talk about that, and how she cooks for him and stuff, and make sure he is taken care of. That's good. I love to talk about that. We got a coworker. We talk about God, and I got another coworker. We talk about our children because we have children. How funny they are, how much they got so many different personalities, and how we just love them. Yeah, one coworker, we just talk about life and what we want to be. That's the stuff that we should be talking about, because we have so much to live for. We have so much positive stuff to talk about when you think about it. I got another coworker over at the other building, and we just talk, and she was telling me this morning that she'd been for the company 30 plus years, and she has regular customers that come see her every year for the Browns game. And they live in Canada, and they come see her, and they give her tickets, and that is amazing. I was blessed enough just to hear that, and they mainly deal with her. I mean, they deal with other people, but when they see her, they kind of gravitate to her. I'm pretty sure there's a million people, but it's just something about her that they like, that they took a liking to. And for them to be coming there after all this time, and the lady is still there, speaks volume. And you love to hear stuff like that. Just recently, a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to meet elderly man that's 78 years old that takes pride in what he does, and he gets so many, I think about at least 6 or 7 miles a day at 78. That's the stuff we should be talking about. Working out, doing good for ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. We can talk about those other things because it might be something that's on our mind, and we want to release it. But just take it, just minimize it. You know, every Wednesday and Friday, I go to the gym and I play basketball. And on those days, some of the elderly guys, they like me play. They want me to play basketball with them. Now these guys are in their 50s, but they asking a 34-year-old, "Hey, you want to play basketball?" And I play with them, and they kind of look forward to me coming, and I look forward to me playing with them. And they say, "Hey, man, you can play with us as long as you want until we get our other guys back that's going to complain that you're not 50. But, you know, we enjoy playing with you. You know, we like playing with you, you know." And these guys get up every Monday and Friday and work their bodies out and move and run up and down that court. It's amazing. I asked God that he bless me with the ability at 78 years old and 80 years old to move up and down the court and still play basketball and be able to move. That's a blessing. That's the stuff that I want to hear. That's the stuff that I want to talk about. Because if anything, it's motivating you. When you hear somebody say something good gossip, and you're talking about something and it's something good, it's good information, it's good to hear, and you can take something away from it for yourself, for someone else, anything. It's something that can be taken away about somebody doing something or saying something positive around you. And that's what that does for me when I see that. It just motivates me. I had a lady, she said, "I'm 83 years old. I come in here," she comes to the YMCA, "I come here often. I work out, I get my steps in, and I'm old. It can be done." Y'all ain't hear that. I come here daily, get my steps in, do what I'm supposed to do. It can be done. She's about 83 years old. Excuse me. Crazy, right? But it's amazing. And it should and that's to motivate somebody else out there that might be 78, they might be 50, they might be 40, whatever. You can still get it done. It is not too late. You are in control of your own destiny. Just know that. And last but not least, we all have things in our mind that we need to get off. So if that's venting, if that's venting to somebody to get that off, by all means, that's what you got to do. Get it off your chest. And once you get it off your chest, I believe that you feel better about it. Rather than walking around with that on your mind. Releasing it. You're getting it off of you. Whatever it is. Gossip, whatever it is, you're getting it off your chest. But thank y'all for listening to the Gene with Care Podcast 216. I will see y'all tomorrow. But before I go, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, just thank you guys for your patience coming here on a weekly basis, whenever you do, to take the time out to listen to what I have to say. The Gene with Kid 216. Everything that I say comes from my heart. Come from experiences. It comes from things that I know. Some things I might be wondering. But if I'm talking about something, I know what I'm talking about. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional. But I have life experiences. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. You just don't know. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.